to another episode of Lee with Jeffrey podcast. I am honored today to have in our studio two young men, entrepreneurs at the age of 19. Fresh out of high school, made the decision the traditional college route would not be for them and that entrepreneurship was their path. In this work that they've been doing, they've discovered not only that entrepreneurship is the way for them, but they also were able to understand the importance of digitizing their reputation and helping others to do the same because, as Forbes stated, personal brand is very important in 2024 and moving forward as we become not only entrepreneurs, but people itself. Our legacies will be known through our personal brand. Sometimes people in my generation and in other generations don't pay the importance that it requires, but in today's world, that is the important part of the work we do. Not only will it tell who we are, what we did, but more importantly, generations that will come will be able to benefit from everything that our personal brand will stand for. If you want to be an activist, you want to be a salesperson, you want to have a service-based business, whichever the venue may be, or simply you just want to have fun, personal brand is very important. And today, I have Brian Hernandez and Brian Cordova, who are the co-owners of Success Stream. The entrepreneurs that have demonstrated it doesn't matter the age, it just needs a vision, action, a business plan, and being able to dedicate the 24/7 work it takes to pull off an opening a business. So today, Brian, B squared, we have you in the studio. Why don't you start off by telling us a little bit about who you are as individuals first?
Well, for starters, thank you so very much for having us on your podcast. It is a pleasure.
Our honor.
I want to start off by saying that my name is Brian Hernandez, as you mentioned. I'm 19 years old. I'm currently in college right now. Me and my partner, Brian Cordova, we started our business about 6 months ago. We really wanted to, capture the people, the business owners and the entrepreneurs that are out there and be able to help them out and build a personal brand. And I think that's very important. So, yeah.
But who are you, Brian Hernandez? What is Brian Hernandez in 19 years? What has been your journey, your life? If you were to describe it for our listeners, who are you?
Brian Hernandez. Brian Hernandez is a kid that, loves to work hard, is very dedicated when it comes to things that, his aspirations for life. I love sports. I love, going out, having fun, and just, achieving things in life. And that's Brian Hernandez, in my opinion.
Excellent. So you play sports?
Yeah.
And what was that like?
Well, in high school, I played a lot of sports. Like my friends say, you've done it all. I've played basketball, baseball. I've ran track, played tennis even. I've pretty much done it all.
What did you learn from the sports that you feel is helping you in your journey now? Discipline.
I really learned a lot, and also creating new friendships with people, relationships. That's very important. Understanding, as in every sport, there's a coach. And, like following them and listening to what they're saying, being on time to practice. And that has helped me evolve and develop that when starting out my business.
So the sports world brought to you skills that you're using now as an entrepreneur.
100%.
That's really important because sometimes young individuals say, I don't have time for sports because I'm trying to get ready for the future. But in reality, sports are helping them for the future, right?
100%.
So, and are you a sports person too?
Correct. I've always loved sports since I was a young kid. It really taught me a lot about discipline, hard work, what it takes to do something great. I know since we were little kids and growing in high school, we overlooked what impact building a sport or performing in a sport had on our life. But then after, when we started this business and we co-founded it together, we realized that is an extremely important, I would say, experience in our lives that taught us a lot about business, about hard work, about what it takes, the discipline that it takes to achieve anything.
That's excellent to know. And Brian Cordova, why don't you tell us a little bit about you?
So yeah, my name is Brian Cordova. I co-founded the company with Brian Hernandez. Like I said, Success Streams was an idea that was birthed out of the fact that we've been on social media for so long, and we realized that a lot of people on social media grow these enormous personal brands, and it's extremely effective in their career, in their business. So we took it upon ourselves to help 10,000 entrepreneurs achieve the same and leave their voice and their mark on the world through social media.
Excellent. So you graduated high school. Most people have to make the decision, go the traditional route, go 4 years to college, get their degree, and then start looking for a job in the area that they decided. One of you is going to college now, one of you is not. But even though you're going to college and you're not, you're still on the entrepreneurship route. When did you decide college was not going to be my only route that I was going to do?
I think college is extremely valuable. I'm not going to sit here and trash college, because a lot of people trash college, I think they think that college is not worth it, but I think it is. But it really depends on what you are trying to do with your career in life. I can't sit here and say that it's invaluable. It is extremely valuable. Many great leaders have come out of college. Most of the S&P 500 CEOs have gone to Harvard, have gone to Princeton, have gone to these huge schools. So I can't say college is not worth it. But for me in my journey, I realized that I didn't want to take a traditional route. I didn't want to be a doctor. I didn't want to be an engineer. So instead of taking 4 years or 6 years in college, I decided to take it upon myself to get the real life experience that is needed and try it and start a business and see how it goes.
You know, I actually had never heard of it in the way that you have referred to it, saying that college is a valuable experience, but definitely something that needs to be reflected upon depending on what you're going to be doing and what career. But I like the fact that you still classified it as a valuable experience, because there is a lot of footage out there around college not being valuable, not being important, trashing college, right? And trashing that experience. But learning can never be second guessed, and especially when you understand that everything you do in life requires you to be educated, whether it's through college or through other means. Education is important. So I really like the way that you referred to it, and I think especially your age group, talking to your age group and sharing with them the importance of learning regardless of what you're wanting you to do. But the vehicle of where you get that learning is different depending on what you want to do. And I think that's a great message. How about you, Brian? You're going to college and you're also starting as an entrepreneur. Why both at the same time? What challenges are you having as you're trying to balance both? He only has the business to worry about. You have college and the business.
Well, I do agree. Yes, college is very valuable. My father always says that it is going to school is like you're able to network there. There's a lot of people that are very talented. There's people that are good at IT. There's people that are mechanics. There's people that are doctors, and it's good to have relationships with all those type of people. Skilled people. And I feel like that's very important when it comes to going to school. You learn a lot. You learn a lot of different things. But me being in school, sitting in that campus in that chair, I realized that it's just not meant for me. Being said that, going to school in high school, I was an A and B student. I was just a very hard worker. I wasn't intelligent. And being in that campus in school, it's just not, just sitting there, I just know that it's not for me, because I'm not going to be a doctor and I'm not going to be an engineer or a mechanic or anything like that. So I definitely wanted to take this entrepreneur, journey and really start my business, because I feel like that's what's me. That's my destiny. And I feel like that's really what I care about. And that's what I really care about, happiness. And I wouldn't want to work for anybody else or be in a depressive state because of what everybody says. Go to college, go for 4 years, get a job. And look, there's people that can't even get a good job. People go to school for 4 years, spend lots of money. When they get out, they're just stuck. They're applying and they can't get a job.
So going to college for 4 years, you're creating a debt for yourself, right? But after 4 years, you have to start looking how you're going to pay for the debt and what you're going to do. I see your journey as I'm creating a debt anyway, because opening a business is creating a debt, right? Just like going to college. But in those 4 years, you're already finding ways to make money and not waiting 4 years to make money. So the difference would be, depending on the career, you want to make sure you're making the choice only based on that, because it could be a debt that you can't pay and you end up having to become an entrepreneur afterwards and you just wasted 4 years, right? Keeping that in mind, you are 19 years old. You just graduated a couple of months ago from high school, and to open a business, it requires a lot of funds. And I'm sure there's 19-year-olds that are listening to us today, and even 25-year-olds and maybe even 30-year-olds that want to open a business and they don't have any money and they think it's not possible. Tell us about the journey. What are you doing? How are you doing it? You're now 6 months in. You own your own office. You now have your website, your logo trademark. You have established your clientele. You already have clients that you're servicing, and you're on your way to a 6-digit income this year as a revenue for your company. How did you start if you had zero money?
I think for me, there's a lot on social media, a lot of gurus on social media say that you don't need money to start a business. A lot of their clickbait titles is, you can start a business with $0 today. But I think that's misleading. I think that you do need money. You do need the funds. You need the resources. You need people to help you out. That's why one of the things when starting this business was I couldn't do it alone. I needed a partner that was just as capable as I was to help me achieve the level of success that I wanted to achieve. So if you were starting a business out today, you have to get extremely resourceful, seek out mentors, seek out funding, figure out ways to do this the right way. Because you don't want to build a $1 million business with a $0 foundation. You want to build a $10 million foundation so then you could expand on that.
Wow, that's intense. I love that, and I want to expand a little bit on that. So you don't want to build a $5 million company on zero foundation. You want to build a $10 million foundation to get the $50 million company. Let's expand on that a little bit. Tell me what that means. What would the zero foundation $5 million company be versus $10 million foundation $50 million company?
Like I said before, there's a lot on social media about, okay, you could just start a company, go online, get a random domain, and don't establish anything. Don't establish your legal documents. Don't establish your taxes correctly. And that's extremely misleading because I've started multiple businesses in the past, but none of them were like this one. This one has extreme structure to it. This one is set up for success. I've started multiple businesses in the past where I didn't have an LLC. I didn't have any correct legal documents. I didn't have the right mentors. And they didn't last. So I learned from that experience. And this business, we decided to take it up a notch and do the right thing.
Let me ask you, in your decision making, has anything played a part in the fact that you're wanting to do this long term versus short term? I know there's a lot of entrepreneurs out there, specifically at your age group, that open short term businesses just for a moment in time. Was your mindset a moment in time, or was your mindset a lifetime?
The mindset needs to be a lifetime. You can't build anything with a short-term mindset because short-term mindset makes you create mistakes and do things that are out of character. Like if your goal is just money, you would do certain things that would equate to money, but in the long term wouldn't be right for the business. So if you build it with the long-term vision, you understand that it's a process, and you understand that you're building block by block a foundation. And that foundation would eventually lead to whatever your goals are. But if you just start with no foundation and a short-term vision, it's going to be very hard for you to build that business that's long-lasting that you've always wanted to build in your life.
What do you think about WH?
I definitely agree with my partner, Brian. I think that that's very important. It's a very important factor for, the young people and, even people that are old starting their business. That's very important.
Do you think that some of the entrepreneurs out there that are starting a business are misled by this short-term, zero foundation type of strategy and then confront lots of obstacles? And if so, what advice would you give them?
Well, yes, there is a lot of that out there. Even for myself, I was fooled by a lot of these girls, posting on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, saying, hey, start this for $0. And then at the end of the day, they take you and they funnel you to their course. And then they make their money and then you go and you fail. And, no shame to the people out there. But I definitely think that for when it comes to starting a business, it is very important, as my partner said, that you have to be resourceful. In my case and other people's cases are differently, but you have to go out there and find, the people that are willing to help you out. That's very important because business is not cheap. And in order for it to be successful, you need the funds, you need the right team, the right mindset, it's just very important. Those are key things in order to have a successful business. So I definitely think that when starting your business, sit down and think, what is the best way I can build this, for a long term, and, gathering up the right people. Like I said, that's very important.
I call it the basics. And, a lot of people don't like to focus on the basics because they're not fun. right? The legal aspect, the accounting aspect, the marketing aspect, the hiring and HR aspect. Those are basics that a lot of people don't like to focus on because they're boring. They're not fun. They're not the parts that you feel are giving you money, and they take the longest amount of your time to get them done, right? But once you have them, you're able to build upon them, right? How has the initial part of your business been? Has it been fun? Has it not? What parts have you enjoyed? What parts have you not?
Not fun. Not fun, but you do it with the faith in mind that it's going to be worth it. So although some of the things that we have to do on a day-to-day might not be the funnest, they are going to be worth it.
Which one has been the most boring for you?
The most boring, I would say, I don't like, well, Brian gets mad at me. I just don't like the whole legal, we need to set up this, set up that. I just want to get to the nitty gritty and really, I overlook that aspect. And I've learned that from you and Brian, that there's certain things that need to be set up correctly for you to have anything in this country. You need to set up the right things.
And the challenge is that it's that one thing, that little one thing that you don't set up, that can actually be the greatest impact in your organization in a negative way. And so it's critically important that you do take that into consideration. So understanding that, tell us a little bit about what legal things have you had to do to open your business?
Well, for starters, the LLC, that's where we started out. I remember me and Brian, before we started this business, we were doing drop shipping. And when it came to having that business, in order to be able to provide customers and stuff with, things is very important, because they could be chargebacks, they can, sue you, a lot of things. So we started out, we figured out what is the best way possible to get the LLC and just other things, even trademarking our company logo. It was very important because a lot of people can go and steal your name, your logo, and all those type of things. And I think that those, there's more things that are to it. I can't really think of the one right now. But yeah, that's like the main ones that we've gone through when it comes to the legal side of the business.
So I hear step 1, incorporating your company. Step 2, trademarking your logo in your company. And step 3?
Build a business plan. Build the correct business plan. A business plan that's future-proof. I think when people start a company, they just wing it. I think you should actually think about it. Think about what you're going to do. Think about what you have to offer, your services, before you go out there and try to start a marketing campaign or anything, because you're just going to blow dollars. So in my opinion, get a business plan, really think it through. That should be one of the longest aspects, thinking through your business, because when we started, me and Brian didn't think through a lot of things, and then now it's catching up to us. So what I would say is think it through. Think through everything, marketing, or offers, how you're going to fulfill those items that you are promising. And all those things are extremely important.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
No, on my end, yes, I definitely agree that, it's very important to think through before you start that business, that idea. It's not the same when you have an idea and then you go and try it. You might lose a lot of money. You might lose a lot of time. And we don't have that much time in this world. So, you need to really sit down and think things through. Yes, risk it, go for it, and do what you need to do. But you definitely have to sit down and try and make sure that, like with when it comes to marketing and stuff, you really have to test things out, see if the market is in need of your offer, of your services. And that's very important when it comes to starting that business you want to start.
Let me ask you, a lot of people would start a business from home, from their bedroom, from their terrace, from a place where they don't have to pay an overhead for an office. But the two of you, early on in the trajectory of your business, decided, we're going to open with an office. Why? Well, what made you have that decision versus staying at home and working on Google Meets?
Environment. Environment is key. It's extremely important for you to be surrounded with the right environment where you could work and focus. If you're at your house, yes, you might be able to focus, but it's not going to be the same when you have your bed right next to you, when you have a kitchen right next to you. So for us, it was extremely important that in this age that we're living in, when there's so many distractions, from your phone to your mom calling you to friends that want to go out and party, that you find the right place to focus where you can sit down and get the work done.
How about for you?
Yeah, I think it was amazing to be able to get to that office, that was a big part. I remember me and Brian, before we got that office, that's when we started the business. He was at his house, I was working at my house, and we're on Google Meets every day until 3 in the morning, 4 in the morning, just there on Google Meets. And then one day we were together and we realized, hey, like, I think that we need to, switch this up and kind of, because if we do want to build a business, let's build it correctly. Let's not be like, we hear a lot, mama, papa, like you always say, mama, papa business. So we definitely wanted to do it the right way. And, it costs money. It is what it is, but you have to invest in your future and your business, and you got to make the right decisions. And that's really what's helped us out be where we are now.
Well, something that's really interesting is you're saying all of that. And I'm thinking to myself, if you stay home, it may not feel real until it's real. And at least by having an office, it feels real from the beginning, right? You're already feeling, I'm going to my office, I'm going to my business. You take that ownership over what you have, right? So out of all the businesses that you could have opened, why a business that focuses on personal branding?
Because we believe it's the future. Personal branding is the future. We're not seeing corporate brands as much as we're seeing personal brands now. We believe that if you start your company, you should be the face of your company. It creates extreme trust, it's extremely profitable, and it's an overall benefit to anything you're going to do. If employees are trying to find you, they're able to find you through your personal brand. If you are looking for investors' money, people are able to find you by building your personal brand. Any aspect of your company is improved by building a personal brand, even the marketing aspect. Everything is improved. So we believe that personal branding is the future of social media and business in general, because we're seeing these huge figures like Grant Cardone, Iman Gadzhi, Tony Robbins, that have created extremely successful businesses off the back of a personal brand that's established. But not just any personal brand, a value-based personal brand. You don't want to do OnlyFans. You want to provide value to your audience.
Let me ask you, he mentioned something that's really powerful. He talked about a personal brand that has value. What does that mean?
Well, when it comes to, because anybody can start a personal brand. You can start a personal brand of you walking your dog, it's just what he means by value based is that you need to provide value to the people, to your audience. That's very important. And in order, like you look at the big names, like you said, Grant Cardone, Iman Gadzhi, Andrew Tate. The reason they have such a big audience is because they provide value to the people that want to learn from them. And that's where they are, where they're at now. A lot of people start just post random stuff all day and things that are not what people want to see. There's entertainment and then there's value, but that's not, like, in my opinion, I feel like in the route of personal branding, value is the most important thing. And that's what will really take you to a successful point in life.
Can you unpack a little bit about the word value? The word value means different things to different people. And in different industries, the word value can have different implications, different outcomes. In personal branding, what does the word value mean?
What do you have to offer? What do you have to give to an audience? It could be mindset, it could be motivation, it could be information about business, but you need to provide some type of actionable, valuable steps that people are able to apply in their lives and see a difference. For me, I think we're seeing a lot of, like what Brian was just saying, like people that don't provide any value and then people that do provide value. And the people that end up providing value end up being able to create businesses because people see that by following them, they have an improvement in their lives. If I follow a random person that walks their dog, yes, it's entertainment. Yes, I might like it, but I'm not improving my life.
So do you feel that the synonym for value is what return it has for me as a person, as a follower, as well as what does it do for you as the provider?
Correct. The audience needs to get something from watching your content. If they're just watching your content for entertainment, yes, they might like you, but they won't invest in you. And you want that buy-in from the person. You want that person to say, hey, I follow this person. They give me this value for free. And then if you're the entrepreneur on the other side, you could use it as a strategy. You could give value. And then eventually you're going to have people in your audience that are going to start asking you, hey, do you sell a course? Hey, do you sell an info product? Do you have any consulting? And that's where it becomes a business. And that's why we set out to help entrepreneurs and experts establish a business through personal brand or improve their already made business through personal brand.
Let me ask you, there's a word that now you see everywhere. Like all of a sudden, everyone's talking about digital marketing, and then you hear people talk about personal brand. What's the difference, and which one is which, and what should people focus on?
So there's digital marketing, which is paid advertising. Digital marketing is a wide spectrum of things. Success Streams focuses on content marketing, organic content marketing, which is posting free content out to the world. And that's what content marketing is in particular. Digital marketing encompasses a lot of things. Paid advertising, anything that's in the digital world and social media is digital marketing. What we focus on is content, producing high quality podcasts, high quality videos, high quality reels, and distributing that on our platform so our customers and clients could benefit.
But let me ask you, if I am starting in this, I'm an emergent person, and I'm listening to this podcast, and I'm also hearing on every platform I go on social media, digital marketing, you can get money right away, the lifestyle, you know how people are putting all kinds of stuff out there, but you are focused on personal brand. Why should I go that route first versus go the digital marketing route, Ryan?
Well, for me, when it comes to the difference, as you said, yes, there's a difference. There's digital marketing, which is you go and you have your ads and stuff. But then personal branding, it's like difference is that when you have like your personal brand, it's like, you're giving free value to your audience and stuff. And then you're able to turn that into a business. Obviously, don't ask for anything from that market that you create, that audience that you create. Don't ask too early. Like you said, when people start to ask you, hey, Jeffrey, do you have a course? Do you have a book? Do you have something? That means that you're providing value. So what does that tell you? It rings in your ear, and it tells you, okay, I can maybe turn this into a business. And aside of the business that you already have right now, you can start something else, and it's another income that you can have. And I think that that's very important. But when it comes to the difference, I think that, in my opinion, that's why we started this business, because yes, you could have gone the digital marketing route. That's what the world is evolving right now in 2024. It's personal branding.
Do you think it's because your digital marketing dies at the end of that marketing piece, and your personal brand has a legacy that outlives the person?
Yes, my opinion.
It's the foundation. A personal brand is the foundation of any other marketing efforts. It's the first thing you should build before we go back to the same thing. You want to build it on the correct foundation. You want to leave a legacy. You want to leave a message. You don't want to just run an ad or sell a random course just for profit, which people are not even going to be happy with the course. They're not going to be happy with that. And then it's going to result back in a bad reputation for you. And the importance of your reputation is the most important thing that you have in this world, is your reputation. You can't ruin it, because that's what's going to get you into business meetings. That's what's going to get you into different rooms. That's what's going to help you create that trust to be able to sell a product, to be able to sell a service, and really change people's lives.
Let me ask you, I have a phone. Nowadays with a phone, you can do all kinds of videos. You can upload everything. You can put the captions, put all kinds of borders and designs. Why should a person hire Success Streams versus doing it on their own from the comfort of their house and just uploading at a lesser cost?
In my opinion, just speaking for myself, I think that guidance, there's a lot of people that need guidance and support when it comes to starting and going into social media. A lot of people spend a lot of money when it comes to, with the videographer, a script writer, and things like that. And then with Success Streams, we're able to guide you and get you there faster. You understand? There's a lot of people that there's people like Alex Hermosi for 7 years and has been able to be successful with his personal brand. And there's people that go 40 years and are never successful with their personal brand. That's why you need the correct guidance from experts like us that have been like on social media for the past 15 years. So it's a difference. There's people that are 50, but they don't know social media like we do. And that's the difference. We know what we want to hear from people, from business owners like yourself, from consultants, from real estate agents, from all those types of experts. We know what the audience wants to hear. So I think that's when it comes to building your personal brand, you should definitely figure out a way to create a plan and get the right support and guidance to be able to succeed with personal brand.
So if I'm hearing you correctly, Brian, building a personal brand is like you're a movie star, an actor, an actress, a singer. You need someone that's going to manage your every step to make sure it's done thoughtfully and more purposefully. Is that what I'm hearing? Or?
Yes.
Is that what you do?
Yes.
Okay, can you share a little bit about, I come to you, I call you a Success Stream, I'm Jeffrey Hernandez, and I already have something on Instagram, but I want to build a personal brand. What's the first thing that you do?
So it starts by we break down who you are as a person. We break down the businesses that you have, and we try to craft a compelling message that you're able to promote and you're able to put out there. That's the first thing we do, because messaging is really important. How you put your message out is even more important, which is what we do as well. But building that message out, maybe you don't know what you want to be known for. Maybe you don't know what you want to be heard. What you want to be heard from you. Maybe you don't know that. And we help you figure that out. So we offer consulting, but we don't just offer the consulting aspect. We offer a full done for you service where we do everything for you. So you have to be the actor. You don't have to worry about cameras. You don't have to worry about scripts. You don't have to worry about content ideas. We do it all.
So you are the person that, for a very busy person that doesn't have time to really focus on all of that. It could be a small business owner, it could be a large business owner, it could just basically be a self-employed person or someone that just wants to start a new business. You are the person that takes them from where they are to where they want to be, show them every step of the way, and more importantly, don't leave them alone in the process.
Yes, a lot of people have personal brand dreams, but they don't have a vehicle to get them to their dreams, and we're that vehicle for people.
So Brian H., I come to you and I say, I want to build my personal brand. What is the process that I have with you very systematically to get there?
Well, first we start off with, an introductory meeting. We gather up the right information, see where you at currently, do a diagnostic of where you're at, whether you're on social media or you're not, do a diagnostic if you have a business. That's very important to understand that you don't have the time. That business owners just don't have the time to be getting their phone out, recording a video, texting an editor, and all types of stuff that comes with personal branding. So we'd go from there, understand that, ask the right questions, and then we'll go to a stage where we go and we create you a plan where we gather the right people for you. We have a team of editors, we have a team of videographers, we have script writers, we do it all basically. And then we get you, we show you we consult with you and show you that plan, that the blueprint we have. And then, we consult with you every step of the way, every single day. We consult with you. Hey, Jeffrey, look, today we're going to go to your house or to your office. We're going to record this video for you. And then, we're going to take care of this for you. And we're definitely going to be there every step of the way to make sure you have the time to run your multi-million-dollar business. Because if you're running a business like that, you don't have the time to be able to do personal brand stuff.
So it used to be that a business leader didn't need a personal brand. They could basically do advertisement in a magazine for their company, do advertising online for their company, and they would do good. Why should a sitting business owner, some of our listeners out there that are multi-million-dollar companies, decide in 2024, I need a personal brand and I better seek either a person in-house that does it for me or a company like yours to do it for me. But the non-negotiable is I must focus on a personal brand.
Well, opportunity, that's one. I think every business owner that I've spoken to, have met, even for me and Brian, is opportunity. We all business owners think like, okay, what's the next move? What's the next move? Is there opportunity here? Is this relationship I have with an individual an opportunity? That's how business owners think. So I feel like building a personal brand is an opportunity for you to succeed more in life. It's going to help you out with your business. It's not free marketing, but it is. It's kind of like organic, and it's something that can last you a lifetime. I think that you definitely don't want to leave this earth and not have, your story, your legacy. Why not give out to the people, the audience, the people that don't know what you do or how to do what you do? There's a lot of people interested. And I think that's why I think business owners should definitely, start and think about starting a personal brand.
How do I select what I focus my personal brand on? If I am deciding to do a personal brand, how do I reflect to select what I focus on?
So if you should sit down and understand, what skills do I have? What value can I provide to the people that they can resonate with me? That is very important when it comes to thinking of how to build my personal brand. The problem with a lot of people is that they start their personal brand and post all types of unnecessary content. They'll go out there and dance and do this and think that that's what people are going to follow you for and learn from you for. And that's not the case. And I think that when it comes to starting that, you definitely need to sit down and think if I'm an expert in, you, for example, you're an expert in leadership, one of the greatest leaders here. And I feel like that's a skill that people are willing to learn. There's a lot of business owners that have been in the industry for X amount of years and don't have the leadership you have. So why keep that all to yourself? And then you have the possibility of providing other people with that information. And you also have a possibility of making money too. So why, like, if you think about it, if you sit down, you're a business owner, why would you say no to that? I think that's very important.
And so that service that of creating that personal brand, that thinking, because some of us could do that on our own if we're born in social media. I always say that technology and social media has different stages. For me, it's a resource. For people like you at your age group, it's a part of your life. It's part of your identity. Yeah. So why should I do it by myself? And why should I come to a company like you?
It's a time thing. How do you want it? Do you want it in 10 years? Or do you want to shorten that and shorten all those mistakes that you're going to make, all the hardships that you're going to have? It's really, I'm not going to sit here and tell you that you can't do it on your own, because I'll be misleading. But if you want it done the correct way with professionals along your side, we're the right company for that. And we ensure that we're able to guide you through the process and hold your hand through the personal branding process, so you don't commit the mistakes that many entrepreneurs and experts commit, which end up to them losing hundreds of thousands of dollars, not having the right messaging, not having the right editors, not having the right videographers. And then they look back and they're like, I just wasted my time, and personal branding doesn't work. But it's not personal branding that doesn't work. It's a strategy that you're implementing.
So in personal branding, you must have a strategy, just like a game on the field, right?
Correct.
So that has to have helped you all your sports time in basketball and other things to understand how to develop the winning strategy.
We call it the playbook. We have a playbook. A playbook made for entrepreneurs. We personalize that playbook for them, so they're able to have everything from their target niche to their defined message to their unique value proposition. Then we look at your colors. We look at your branding. We create your ideal persona, however you want it to be crafted, and we guide you along the way to make that persona a reality.
Tell me a little bit about that playbook. So I hire your company, you give me a playbook. What does it tell me?
It tells you a lot. It's like you said, it guides you to that to the right path when it comes to building that personal brand. It tells you the opportunities when it comes to even monetizing that personal brand. It's all the information that me and Brian have gathered in the past months of working together, and researching different information and following other people and seeing what the most successful entrepreneurs have to say. And a lot of people, other companies usually say that, oh, you need this and you need that and you need this, and it's not that hard when it comes to building a personal brand. So we've framed it, and it's very simple, but with the right guidance, with our help, you'll be able to achieve that fast and the correct way. Nobody wants to fail when you can have the right guidance. Like, why would you make that decision?
It's sometimes one of the fears that business owners have is that you go out there and you get a service from a company, and then you're stuck for life because they are doing something for you that you don't know how to do. So I come to you, I hire you, I have this playbook. Am I stuck with you for life, or is the instructions and guidance and consulting I'm getting helping to empower me to be able to one day be independent in that process?
Yeah. So we guide you. We guide you from working with us to individually outsourcing your team for content, and in a not cheap, but budget-friendly way, correct? Because Alex Ramosi, for example, spent $70,000 on content on a monthly basis. That's a lot of money. Ooh. Regardless if you're a CEO, it's still a lot of money. So we make that happen for way less. We make that happen for way less, and we teach you how to gather your team, gather the right systems in place so you can run a multi-million-dollar business and post content.
Let me ask you a question. In the personal branding, let's say that, like all of us, we used to use Instagram and Facebook for our own personal stuff, had all kinds of pictures, all kinds of things, videos, or I think Brian H. referred to the unnecessary content, right? is it too late to start, too late to change, or how do you go about making that work?
It's never too late to change. It's today is the best time to start. Now is the best time to start. I think we get stuck in the procrastination of I'll start tomorrow. I'll start in a year. I'll start when I have my business figured out. I'll start when I've grown my company. No, you have to start now, because every aspect of you building, every aspect of your journey, people find valuable. Because just like someone was that life for you, you're that life for someone else.
Anything you'd like to add to that?
Not really. I think that it's everything he says. I agree 100%.
That's awesome. Let me ask you another question. So you have a lot of listeners out there that are looking at you, two 19-year-olds. They have a shirt, they have their logo, they have a company name, they are on a podcast, they're giving expertise and content and saying, wow, I want to be an entrepreneur. Tomorrow they're going to wake up in the morning and incorporate a company. Should they, or should they go through a different thinking process?
Depends.
So what does it depend on?
Don't wake up and incorporate a company.
Yeah. It's not that easy.
Wake up, find a market that's hungry for your services, figure out a plan to fulfill those services, figure out if you're going to go into this business with a partner or not, and make the necessary steps to then incorporate your company. Because if you just incorporate your company, you don't know what your company's about, you don't know what you're going to do, you don't know what products you're going to fulfill, you don't know how you're going to fulfill it, you don't know if you have a service-based business, if you have a physical product, you don't know if you're making a course. That's a big mistake.
That's something I want to throw with what he says is also figure out if you want to have a partner. I think that's very important, especially if you're young. I think that having a partner does help. Obviously, choosing the right partner. I've been blessed to be able to work with my best friend that I've had for a lot of years. We've been together since the second grade. So we basically know a lot about each other and we know how we work. We both have different skills and we both, work very differently. But we've been able to put that together and create something successful. So I definitely think that having a partner at a young age is very important. Obviously, don't go out there and pick somebody that's not going to work and it's going to waste your time and then it's going to affect you in the long run. I think that's a very important factor when you're young. Is definitely find somebody that you can grow something with. That's very important.
Let me ask you a question. When you were finding your partner and thinking of who you would open your business with, what were the 3 things you took into account to choose that person?
Well, for me, one is that drive. Brian has this literally the same drive as me, that drive for succeeding, and like we talk every single day and we relate so much on conversations, on business, on life in general, and we definitely think the same. So when it comes to the 3, it's definitely drive, hard work, that's very important, and another important factor for me was definitely discipline. Discipline is very important when it comes to, respecting your partner. Actually, instead of discipline, I'll say, respect. Respect is where I'm going to take is the last one, definitely, because you need to respect your partner. If your partner has, family problems or can't be there on time because of a certain scenario, definitely don't blow out. If the work is always going to be there, right? But that relationship with your partner is not always going to be there if you decide to, lose respect for that person.
So what I hear is your business partner is like a marriage, just not romantic, right?
Right.
This marriage where you have to be able to, you're building a life, you're building a baby, right? And your baby is your business. What were the 3 things you took into account to pick your partner?
Those same 3: hard work, discipline, and respect. Because if you have those 3, you could teach a skill to anybody. Skills could be taught, but those 3 are extremely important. You can't find that in everybody. So that's a good basis to start on. If they have those 3, then we could work.
Let me ask you, when you're in sports, the locker room arguments are intense, right?
Yeah.
And the anger on the courts can be sometimes end up even in physical fights, right? So all those hormones in one office and all of those energies in one office. Tell me a little bit about the back office, that behind the scene type of environment. How does it work? Do you guys have arguments? How do you resolve them?
We definitely have a few disagreements, but like
Right.
everybody, everybody has disagreements in their marriage, with their friends, their family. But we definitely, like we said, which we both agreed on, is respect. We definitely respect each other. We definitely don't raise the tone of voice. We definitely have our disagreements and go in there and say, hey, listen, I don't think this is correct. I don't think this is correct what you're saying. And that is why we've been able to have such a successful business, because we've been able to tolerate each other and the right way. And that is the reason we are where we are today.
Again, just like a marriage, right? You got to
Yes.
be able to tolerate. Let me ask you, do you feel that the fact that you guys were friends before helped you to make the transition from friends to business partners? And should our listeners who are selecting a business partner be limited only to friends, or do you think that had nothing to do with the success you have right now?
I don't think so. In my opinion, speaking for myself, I think that you can go out and meet somebody and they are willing to partner up with you, and you can still have the opportunity. That can happen. But for me and him, yes, we did grow up, and I think that it's been a blessing to be able to work with him. And
Did it help that you grew up together?
well, yes and no. At the same time, it did it in a way.
I think it's interesting because you go from friends to business partner and friends. So now the conversations are different. Before we used to talk about
Stupid stuff.
stupid stuff, the basketball game scores, going out, girls, having fun. But then you have to transition your mindset into understanding that when we're working, we are working. And the conversation surrounds the company and the work that we have to get done.
Now, let me ask you, you guys have conversations, you get upset at work. And let's say that same day you had a double date dinner that was planned and you just got upset. How do you guys change the hats? What strategy do you use to make sure that I just got upset behind those four walls, but now I am in the middle of a restaurant with a menu in front of me and I got to order dinner?
That's funny.
It's hard. It's hard to well, me personally, like I switch my hat and I put that boyfriend hat on or whatever it is at the time, but I'm always thinking in the back of my head, the business problem, which is something that I have to work on myself because I can't disconnect. That's something that I can't do. I stay focused and locked in, so that's something, an area of improvement for me, an area of growth. So that's what I can say for myself.
And for me, yes, I definitely think that when I step out of that office, I try my best to transition, but it is hard, especially that I'm young. We had to go from being boys to now men. We grew up really fast, not like other people our age, and they're still, doing kid stuff, and we had to transition quickly. And then when I step out of that office and I go, I still think about the business problems. I stress about this and that. But, I definitely think it's important when you have a business to be able to transition. And that is something my mentor has always taught me. Thank you.
Let me ask you, and so I understand the transition of disconnecting, but more importantly among yourselves, because a lot of our listeners that are going to have partners, but that are friends or partners that are married, or so when you get upset at work and instantly now you're going to dinner together and maybe with your families, how do you make sure that at that dinner table you have a smile and you didn't carry the energy from that argument that you had at the business?
Well, in my end, there's a quote that like Alex Hermosi always says, if it's not going to matter in 10 years, then it doesn't matter. Like it's not the end of the world. Just move on, go to enjoy time with your family, because tomorrow's not promised. And that problem, if you think about it, if you have a problem because the lawyer said, I can't review the contract today, so now you're delayed on something. And what's the reason to be upset? It's okay. It's resolvable. You can go and fix that. And what's always going to be there is your family, your relationships. And, you definitely have to enjoy that and value that. That's very important because that's just not there forever. So.
Agreed. I think Brian touched on it amazingly. You have to be able to shift because even though the business is extremely important, spending time with the people you love is just as important or more important because those people are not going to be there forever. And you want to be able to enjoy time. And sometimes the business could be sucking the life out of you.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you the name Success Stream. It's a beautiful name. Why the name? How did it connect to the work you were doing? Did you think of the work you wanted to do before you came up with the name, or did you think of the name and then the work? Well, how did that all come about?
Well, for when we both started, it was actually before we started our business. We came up with the name. We definitely knew we wanted something with success, And then, we put that together, and we put the success streams together, and we realized that we can do other things with success streams, and it's what we are focused on, what our business is focused on is, successful entrepreneurs. That's what we mainly target, and the people that we definitely want to help, because those are the people that can provide a lot of value to the people out there that want to learn.
Is Success Stream the name of your company, or is it a DBA, or is there a mother company, or?
It is the DBA to our B&B partners.
So the name of your company is B&B Partners?
Yes.
And then you did a DBA. Can you tell me how that process works? Why do I have to create a DBA? Did I have to register their name? What do I have to do with all?
Right, because if you have your parent LLC, which is B&B Partners, and you want to establish a company under it, and you don't want to name it B&B Partners, you are legally obligated to get a DBA, which goes under your business, B&B Partners. So it's extremely important for us that we want to do more than just success streams. We want to invest into real estate. We want to grow our portfolio in all aspects. So it's important that we create a DBA, and B&B Partners could be our parent company that invests in many other things that we're willing to invest in the future and in our career.
Let me ask you, when you're speaking like someone who's been in business 100 years, right? And knew the fact about a DBA and a corporation. Our new entrepreneurs are thinking, wow, he knows all that. Do I need to know all that when I open? Or how did you gain this experience? And more importantly, what do you recommend to our listeners as they go through this process?
You surround yourself with people that know what they're talking about. It's not just, you're not going to get it from the sky. You're not going to get it. Maybe you could get it from YouTube. But you got to surround yourself with accountants, other business owners that are successful. You might have an uncle, you might have a brother that have a business. So you want to seek guidance. Hey, how did you start your business? What was your process like? And like that, you can start learning and taking in data, and then you're able to come to a conclusion yourself.
Is there a particular mentor or business owner that you particularly admire, that you have followed in your trajectory, that has led you to be inspired to have a business, and more importantly, that has inspired you to do it the right way?
Well, obviously, the man sitting across from me right now, Jeffrey Hernandez, I worked for his company.
I didn't know you were going to respond. I thought you were going to pick one of the people on I was looking for the Grant Cardones or the people.
I was going to say lead with Jeffrey.
I've been working for Nape for a lot of time, and it's giving me valuable information. I've worked in the HR aspect. So now when I transition to my own company, I carry all those nuggets of information, all that value to be able to hire on my end and build my company. So I think it's an invaluable experience.
So, that's really important, because a lot of young individuals feel that they don't have to make the right choice when they're picking their first employments. But for you, your employment led to your business. Those experiences built upon what you are going to do now. So is it important when you're going through high school and picking the business that you work in things that are empowering you, or can you just pick go be whatever?
No. You shouldn't pick whatever. You should pick a job that is in the field that you would like to go into, and a job that's able to teach you something. You don't want to go work at, you don't want to be a waiter just because you can make money, because you're not in a season of earning. You're in a season of learning. So you need to go work at a place where you're going to get that tutelage. Even if you're not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, that's fine, because you're not there to earn. You're there to learn.
I love that. You're not in the season of earning, you're in the season of learning. I think our listeners would benefit from that, because a lot of us are always asking about how much am I going to get paid per hour? What are the deductions? What are the benefits? But there's one thing that doesn't have a price, and it's the experience and the learning that you get from the job. So as we are empowering you, which is the purpose of our podcast, to make the right decisions, and more importantly, to make decisions you can build upon. Remember that phrase. You're in a season of learning and not in a season of earning. When you're in the trajectory of your livelihood around the ages of 16 and all the way to 25, those ages in which you are establishing your foundation in your life, you could be trying to get ahead of yourself and then have to backtrack because you didn't make the right foundational decisions. That's a perfect point, and I really wanted to capitalize on that, because it is a very important reflection that some of our listeners need to take a moment to think about. So you're 19 years old. Most people right now at your age are clubbing, having fun out there with their girlfriends, et cetera, et cetera. You're in the business. What do you feel you're giving up as a result?
A lot of people say, oh, enjoy when you're young, go out, party. Life isn't guaranteed, make memories, this, that. But to me, yes, that's fun. Being said that I've done both. I've tried both on, like, I did have fun. I did go out and I graduated high school and I went the whole summer doing all the things that these people are doing now. But then I just woke up one day and said that that's not the life for me, and that's not the memories that are going to fulfill me. So I definitely think that I'd rather risk 40 years going into business and growing a business with my partner and, failing than going and throwing my life away and becoming and doing all types of bad stuff and then ruining my life. And at the end of the day, those aren't good memories. That's just going to destroy you in the long run. When you get to 50, you're going to be like, you're going to look at your wife, you're not going to even want to be with that person. You're going to look at your husband, you're not going to want to be with that person. It destroys you. So that life, I would recommend to anybody. I think, yes, you should try it and so you to see, and it can help you make that decision so you can later on in life say, I never tried it. I regret not trying it. But yeah, that's my advice to the people out there.
Do you feel you're being cheated from something as a result of going from what you said, a young man to a man and quickly having to accelerate into a business owner?
Yeah, it's been I had to evolve quickly.
But what are you being cheated from, do you think? What are you losing out on?
I don't know. For me, when it comes to losing out on, I don't think I'm losing out on anything. I personally don't think I'm losing out on anything. I think that I am where I'm supposed to be right now, and I'm very happy. And I think that business and spending time with my family and working on my future in my life is exactly where I want to be. I don't want to do anything else. I don't want to go out there and throw my life away and then just not be happy, because that's what that life does for you.
Do you think, Brian, that it takes a specific mindset to be able to make that decision? Because what happens if you start a business and all of a sudden you're working 24 hours, but then you start feeling I'm losing out on clubbing, I'm losing out on that stuff, and then you throw all that time away? What type of mindset do you think you need to have as a young entrepreneur to make sure that you stay the course, the road less traveled?
Well, you need to be strong. You definitely do need to be strong, because there's a lot of people that are going to call you while you're building your business and stuff, and they're going to ask to go out here, to do this, to do that. And you have to understand to try to block that noise and understand that it is a road that you need to follow. And in order to achieve that, you have to learn to, like I said, be strong. So, so you don't end up making the wrong decisions and just throwing your life away.
How about you, Brian?
The power of no, of saying no.
Steve Jobs says he used to say, you must say no to 1,000 things to say yes to the right thing.
To the right thing, exactly. And you could get influenced to do many things, but you need to be able to say no. And you need to be able to put your priorities in the right order. Number one is my business, my family, up there the same, my health, and you need to stack those priorities. You can't, in no world would I put clubbing or going out as a number one priority or even in the top 10. From a young age, I never, Brian has a lot more experience than I do. I've always used to stay in and really stay focused. And I never really had that thirst or that crave for, I guess, going out or doing things that kids my age were doing. I really just focus on myself and try to do the best for me and my family.
Let me ask you, you both are in a relationship and you're working super hard in the startup stages of your business. How is that going? And for our listeners, what type of support do they need from their partners, their girlfriends, their boyfriends in order to do that and dedicate that time?
You definitely need to communicate. I remember I'm in a relationship, and I remember when I first started my business and I got in my relationship, I sat my girlfriend down and I spoke to her and I said, listen, this is not going to be a fun journey. This is not going to be, this is not just going to be like all the time for you and stuff. I sat down and I said, I'm going to be working a lot of hours. I'm investing in my future. And if you're with me, this is our future. So I'm working for us. So it's not just for me. I'm not doing this selfishly. And if you want to be a part of that, beautiful. And, that's by all means, just don't give me a hard time. And if you don't want to, the door is right there. You can go your own route. At the end of the day, you have to learn to be alone. That is very important, because you were born alone and you're going to die alone. So I think that's very important, communication when it comes to starting a business and having a partner.
So being clear about your expectations and also being very transparent about what the life is going to be was very important to your relationship. How about your relationship?
The same. I couldn't agree more with Brian. You need to sit down with your partner and really set the expectation. And also, you need to be with a partner that's your cheerleader. You can't be with a partner that you get home and then she's screaming at you because you got home late while you were sitting down in an office, breaking down problems for your business to grow. You can't have that. You got to have a person that's there for you, that's cheerleading you, that's supporting you, because at the end of the day, we all want support. That's what we want from people. We want people to support us.
Let me ask you, so for the entrepreneurs that are out there, young men and women that are trying to establish that life, and they're working hard in the office, they're getting home and their partner is not supporting them, is actually causing them the problems, making them feel guilty. What would be your best advice? Do I stop the business? Do I stop the relationship? Or what is the advice?
It's probably bad advice, but how replaceable is your business versus your girlfriend?
Well, I mean, but it's not bad. It's not totally bad advice.
For some people, I saw this video where this guy built $100 million business, and his girlfriend was putting him in the position: is me or the business? And then Mark Cuban said, "You can find another girlfriend, but you're not going to be able to grow another business like that one."
The me or the business. You know, that you just said is something that definitely the world confronts on a daily basis, more than they should. Instead of having that partner that supports you, that wants to be part of your growth, that believes in what you're doing, you always have that person that says, me or the business, me or the family, me or your dreams. And I could use a Kevin Hart quote, but I wouldn't because there's a curse word, right? But I like the way you said it. You could replace your significant other, your girlfriend, or that person that's putting you on the spot to say your dreams or me, but you can't replace the dreams and all the years of hard work that you did to build your business and the success that you're doing. What about you? What would be your advice? His advice was direct and it was interesting, but what would be your advice?
I think that person is just not for you. If they're making, I've always said this, that if they ever put you through a decision where it's like, it's me or this, that's just not the person for you. And I didn't see it in my household, so I definitely do not believe in that. And that is, if you need to have a woman or a man that supports you. There's no reason to be upset and to argue and be jealous of this if your significant other is successful. If he's not, it's just gonna make a toll on you. And at the end of the day, like, you have one life. Like, what is the point of that? Like, relax. Like, it's not the end of the world, and you need to just, sit down and understand. I definitely don't think you should throw the person away. You should definitely warn them one time and explain to them, hey, listen, I do not like that you're putting me through this decision making whether I should choose you or my business. And if it happens again, that's time to, walk through that door.
So we're getting to the end of our podcast. Definitely a topic that we want to bring back because the personal brand, Forbes has indicated as being very important in 2024 and for the rest of our future, something that I know our listeners are anxiously waiting to get more guidance on. I wanted to ask one final question is, as I start this personal branding journey as a person that's listening, when should I make the decision to say, I have the right money, the right time, and the right expertise to do it?
I'm going to be straightforward, and there's never going to be the right time. You just have to take that leap. There's never the right time. It's never a time where everything is perfect.
Is it guaranteed?
What exactly?
Is it guaranteed that if I develop a personal brand, I'm going to be successful?
Is it guaranteed that if you start a business, you're going to make money?
I love the answer. How about you?
Same thing. Couldn't agree more with him.
So you heard it straight from the sources of expertise, individuals that at a very young age understood that social media was the path to not only having a profitable business, but establishing a legacy that would not die at your last breath. The owners of Success Dreams, B Squared, Brian Cordova, Brian Hernandez, have brought us today a clearer understanding of what Forbes said is the focus in 2024, which is building a personal brand. To a person in my age group, which a personal brand was really unknown, and digitizing our reputation was really a curse word for us, right? We've got to understand that it's either we evolve with what society is asking for and meeting the needs of our customers and the people we serve, or we would become unavailable to continue to provide that service because we'd be outdated and not be a resource. Success Dreams is there for you to provide you the service as a consultancy agency to develop your personal brand with their playbook, with their process. But there's many out there. They're not the only ones. I think what they brought to you today is an awakening and an understanding that prioritizing your personal brand is a must if you want to stay alive in the world of business. It's been my honor to be your host today in this very important conversation, one that I wish I would have known a decade ago because I started at 50 to develop one, and I've understood the importance of it and what it can do for your business. So I encourage you, the listeners of this podcast, don't wait till 5 decades to start. Start now, and make sure that when you start, you don't start alone. Don't read about it. Don't look at videos. Find the people that are living it each and every day and that can show you how to get there through the scars of what they've discovered in their own work with themselves and others. I want to thank you for being part of this podcast. It's always a privilege to have experts and content that can empower our audience. Lewa Jeffrey says thank you to you. We wish you the best of luck in your business. I can't wait to see all the different entrepreneurs that Success Stream will help build their personal brand and how their growth will be. Thank you for joining us today, and more importantly, stay inspired.